What's up everybody, welcome back to another Poke Logistics video. Hey, for this one we've got kind of a fun video for you. So it is kind of, I guess it's been for a little bit, but we are getting into some of the bigger conventions that we have going on for the year. So I'm going to call this convention season, right? So we're stepping into convention season here. Just wanted to give a couple of pointers, a couple of things to kind of help you guys prepare for going to these conventions, whether that be a Collecticon, whether that be whatever you guys got going on in your local area like you'll see in this video. I just want you guys to have a little bit of kind of some tips, some pointers here as to some things to do to prep, some things to do to look for as you're there, and then you know, just some other ideas, some other things that would be helpful as you're walking the floors, right? So got a couple of points here, and I'll run through that list and then we'll break them down. But I've got a 5-point list. We'll go for number 1, make a chase list of cards or collectibles. Number 2, research buy sell prices for flippable cards. 3, bring cash, multiple payment options. 4, pack supplies for safe storage and trading. And 5, plan your route and schedule for maximum efficiency, right? So let's jump into these. Number 1, obviously, make a chase list of cards or collectibles. So for this one, I personally use a few apps to keep track of things that I want to collect, things that I have collected, and just a few other things. But one of the big ones that I use is an app called TCG Player. It's a derivative from the actual website, but you have an app that kind of gives you a way to break down and group cards in either a collection or like a wish list or a want list format. So you're able to have all of that information here. And for me personally, I've got it broken down in just a few certain ways where for the most recent era, for the most recent sets, I've got them all broken down by set, and then I have all of my chase cards from those sets there in that group. And then it's pretty cool. You can open them up, see the card, and then see not only the most recent prices, but kind of mid to lower range prices for these as well, and some other stats there. So this is great for that in specific. Another great feature of this app is if you don't have these wish lists put together, you can also just kind of go into the shop tab of this app and search up a card by name. So you can say you see a Sinistcha EX just out on deck that you're wanting to pick up, but you don't know the price of it. You can search it up and you'll filter through all of the Sinistchas that we've got here until you find the one that you're looking for. And this one's a pretty comprehensive list of like, hey, lightly played, you're looking at like $20. If you've got these other parameters that you're looking for, anything in specific, you can also filter those out, but you see like kind of the most recent listings of these cards and things like that. It's very good for kind of knowing and narrowing down like, okay, this is a card that I want, this is a price that is available out there that people have it on the market for, and you can go from there. Another cool one that I use is Pokedata. Pokedata is pretty cool. This one I just have like a huge wish list that's not really broken down at all. It's not really specified. This is just, hey, I like that card, I see it out in the wild one day, let me add it to this list. I can go and filter it as I need to later. But these also include some older cards, but this site is pretty cool too. It does have kind of a similar breakdown of like, hey, this is what it sold for on this date with this information, whether it was on eBay, TCG Player, or just in general on the card market. And this is like my quote-unquote collection, but I have this as a wish list for just banger cards that I am looking for. And so I keep both of these apps completely open the entire time I'm at a convention, so that as I'm looking at things, I can just keep scrolling as I'm either in between booths or doing my thing, but so that I can keep an eye on these things. One last thing before we move on, it's also good to have an app or a wish list on an app that has your actual collection. So if you're here at this trade show and you want to trade or you want to sell cards, you've got a quick list of that. You can always have them there, and it's good to have them there with you always, but so you have a list to kind of show prices so that you're not getting ripped off while the transaction might be going on. But another good thing to remember as you're preparing to go to these card shows. Alright, now number 2 again was research buy and sell prices for flippable cards. So again, while you've got all these lists going on, it can be kind of hard to keep track of everything, but you should have in there somewhere kind of a list of ones that you're wanting to buy or sell, but you also kind of want to throw into their cards that might not be bangers, might not be the Sunbreon, the huge chase cards for everybody, but ones that you can flip really quickly, like playable card and things like that. But there are certain cards like here, and I'll display a few of these, and you can always again go onto these apps and see which ones are skyrocketing in price and base it off of that. Alright, number 3 again, obviously bring cash and multiple payment options. Cash, great. Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, whatever. great. Another option, cards to trade or collectibles to trade is another great option, but you should have multiple forms just in case the guys don't have cash at the booth or whatever it might be, right? Alright, and real quickly, 4 again was pack supplies for storage and safe transport, all that stuff. You're going to want a hard case, best case scenario. Hard case, some at least penny sleeves, some card savers, things like that to make sure that you get your product from the show back home without issue, right? Okay, and that's number 4. Alright, now 5th and final thing, you're going to want to plan your route and schedule for maximum efficiency. So usually these big card expos will have a layout that you can see where all of your favorite vendors are. It's like this. You can see like, hey, okay, these guys are going to be at this booth number, and you can tell from there, okay, these guys usually have got this product. These guys usually sell this type of product. I just am looking for, say, product B here. So I'm going to hit up tables 42, 41, 40, and 39, and we'll hit that first and anything else can come later. But you should know kind of either the vendors that are going or what kind of product to be expecting. And if nothing else, if you don't know the vendors that are going to be there and what they specialize in, it's cool to maybe find an event that throws these things out in advance. So I go to a lot of these cardboard exchange events, and they're very good at kind of showing their vendors, showing who's going to be there. And through going through a number of these events, I'm well acquainted, well aware of who these guys are, what they do, what they provide. And at the very least, if you know nothing about these vendors, you could at least find that list of where they're going to be at, who they are, and then look them up on socials or online, and you should be able to get a pretty good idea of what you're looking at and what they will have and what they specialize in, if they do have specialty cards that they collect or that they have for sale historically. So another good thing to look out for. Another bonus tip, I guess, if you are in an area that has a lot of conventions that are thrown, like here in Utah, we're pretty lucky to have, especially in the Salt Lake area, kind of a bunch of different hosts, a bunch of different vendors. Find yourself a little schedule person who has a list of all of that information jotted down somewhere. But that honestly is everything that we've got. You're going to want to have all 5 of these things, and there will be other things as well, but you're going to want to have at least these 5 things kind of nailed down before you go to your convention to kind of maximize efficiency, right? So comment down below if there's any other things that you think we missed in this list. Comment down below the things that maybe you do when you prepare to go to these conventions. And yeah, I guess that's it, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in. Happy convention season, and let's hope you guys get some banger pulls and some banger trades and all of that stuff here. And again, yeah, if you guys got anything cool, if you guys got any cool shows coming up, comment that stuff down below. But all right, you guys have a great one. We'll catch y'all later. Alrighty, peace.